Phantom Thread is the newest film by Paul Thomas Anderson, the acclaimed director of There Will Be Blood and Boogie Nights. This film is more cinematically similar to the former. It's a period piece of a character study of a male lead with a lot of dark undertones.
This movie here, I want to say, is kind of a love story. Now, I stress the kind of course, because there is the romance, but it's just weird. You have the two main characters, Alma and Reynolds, that focus too much on the till death do us part of their wedding vows. You know? You feel me?
This is supposedly Daniel Day-Lewis's final film, ending an impeccable career, and he does an amazing performance, but the strange love story between the two main characters, they take a pretty dark turn in the middle of the film.
The romance of Reynolds and Alma is not enviable, to say the least. In fact, it's almost excruciating at times to watch. But that's a part of the brilliance here of Paul Thomas Anderson. He's the master of the anti-hero. And with Phantom Thread, you have a anti-romance movie, which, to be fair, will not necessarily work with the mainstream audiences that are expecting a more conventional story.
Hey, I can't. No. Just no. No, not gonna happen. Now, there are some giggle bits in this film, but not in the traditional sense. What happens to be funny is just funny because everything else is so awkward here. It's like when you're watching a horror movie and you're laughing because you're so scared and you're looking for some relief. That's kind of how it is.
Surprisingly, there are a lot of suspenseful moments in this film. This is a spoiler alert, and I do want to stress, seriously, if you have any interest in seeing this movie, spoiler freaking alert, I'm about to ruin the whole thing. Here at Who's Review, these are called spoiler shades. While a character is wearing these, something is getting spoiled. If you don't want it spoiled, go ahead and mute, keep watching, but mute it until the character takes these off. Spoiler alert! Alma is in love with Reynolds, but Reynolds is too much of a tough guy to love her back. But Reynolds likes to be mothered and is vulnerable in those times of need, so Alma poisons Reynolds to make him dependent on her, Munchausen syndrome by proxy. However, if you don't know if Reynolds is going to drink the poison tea, then when he does, you don't know what's going to happen. And then when he gets sick, you think his sister Cyril is onto Alma, but she's really not. And at the end, Alma is going to go poison Reynolds again, but this time he knows but lets her. And then you don't know what's going on because you think to yourself, this isn't a romance movie. What the heck is going on here? This relationship is really messed up. Spoiler alert, over.
Phantom Thread is a complicated love story by one of the 21st century's best filmmakers. It has Oscar-caliber performances to die for, costuming out the wazoo, the score is brilliant, and of course the directing, Paul Thomas Anderson does it again. This film here gets an 8 out of 10.
This weird movie gets a 4 from me, and it does have the giggle bits. It does. But the laughing feels dirty. And I don't like feeling dirty when I'm laughing. I told you, no. All I gotta say, no. 0 out of 10. 0 out of 10.
This movie is just too complicated for me to score. I mean, you have the elements of suspense, but it was awkward, and not a good awkward. So I'm gonna give the first half of the movie a 6 and the second half of the movie a 2, so let's average it at 3. I'm gonna have to give this one a big fat 0, and I hate to do that because this is Daniel Day-Lewis's final film, and he did such a good job, but the themes and the psycho romance, I mean, it was just too much for me to handle.
We here at Who's Review give Phantom Thread the overall rating of There Will Be Awkwardness. Now, if you're already a fan of Paul Thomas Anderson's other work, you're definitely going to want to see this movie. You'll enjoy the high level of filmmaking talent put on display. But the awkward romance between the two complicated leads, it's not going to be for mainstream audiences. Have you seen Phantom Thread? Do you have your own review? What do you think of our review? Let us know what you thought in the comments below. Now, if you like this video and you want to see if our future reviews coming out, well, click that subscribe button right now. And heck, if you want to see another review, check out this other one that YouTube thinks you'll like too. We're glad you enjoyed us, and we'll see you guys next time.